Good morning. Have you ever been sitting in church and it feels like the pastor's talking directly to you and you start thinking, Pastor, why are you in my business today? Well, today's going to be one of those days for me. Welcome to the Word for Tom Bowers for today on this Friday on July 17th. Man, I don't even know what date it is anymore. It's been a little crazy. Today in the Word for you today, I'm reading the devotional and I'm like, oh, okay, God, yeah, you're talking to me. I know I got to work on this. Let's start with the verse that they start with today. James 3, verse 2. We all stumble in many ways. If anyone is never at fault in what he says, he is a perfect man, able to keep his whole body in check. As I read that, we could probably just stop where they did. We all stumble in many things, in many ways. Because we do. We're all sinners, we all mess up. I look at that next part and it says, if anyone is never at fault in what he says, either it's Jesus or a liar. All right? Because we all mess up. All right? Now, striving to do better is a good thing. But it's so important that as we try to do better, that we learn to have realistic expectations. You see, everything in life is not just black and white, and sometimes that's hard for me to keep in mind. But there are gray areas. There are a lot of in-betweens in our lives. Everything can't be perfect all of the time, as much as we wish it would be. And everything also isn't horrible all the time. You know, there's a lot of times where we're somewhere in the middle. Now, deciding to skip a meeting or a social event because you're running 3 to 5 minutes late, or you've got a blemish on your face, or maybe canceling an entire trip because your flight is delayed, or feeling like a terrible human being because you've made one innocent mistake, that's sometimes referred to as polarizing. And boy, what an example of the kind of person I am sometimes. Man, if I know I'm going to be late for something, I don't even want to go. All right? I want to be, to me, being late is when I'm 15 minutes early. And so if we're running late for a movie, I'd rather just skip the movie. I don't want to miss I don't even want to miss the stuff at the beginning. I don't want to miss the previews. All right? I want to make sure I have time to get there, find my seat, get a snack, get settled in, maybe even catch a little nap before the previews start. All right? That's just me. I'm kind of weird like that. All right? But that kind of describes who I am. And it says that this can lead to frustration and negativity. And you know what? You nailed it. You really can. Let me tell you a story before we continue on this, just to give you an example of how I pushed that to the extreme. When I was in school as a kid, I always wanted to have perfect attendance. You know, I remember one year seeing a kid get an extra little gift for having perfect attendance for the year, and I thought, I want one of those. And so every year I'd start out, first day of school, I went to school. I haven't missed a day yet. And I'd keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And then at some point, usually late fall, early winter, I'd come up with some kind of a cold and I'd be sick and I'd stay at home. And I would get so mad because I didn't want to miss a day. But once I missed the first one, look out. It was not uncommon for me to miss 3 or 4 days in a row, or just kind of try and make the sickness linger as long as possible. And there were probably years of school where I missed 20 days of school after not missing any for like the first 9 weeks. Because once I couldn't reach my goal, I was like, what's the use? All right? Now we all know better than that. But as a kid, that was my mentality. And finally, my senior year, it was like, this is my last shot. I've got to go for this. And so I pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. And those sickness time came. I ended up, some of you may remember the Russian flu that hit during the winter of 1978. I caught it, and I didn't miss a day of school. But basically, it was on a technicality. I went to school in the morning. I went to homeroom. While I was in homeroom, after I got checked in, the teacher sent me to the nurse's office. The nurse sent me home. So I was only at school for about 10 minutes. But I was there every day, and I finally made it. All right. Now, was I a better person because I didn't miss a day of school my senior year? Heck no, I was the same person I always was. All right? But we get driven by weird stuff like that. So I know God's talking to me today. Now, it continues. To maintain your joy in life, you must accept that you won't be perfect all the time. And you know what? Neither will the people or the things around you be perfect all the time. And we just have to learn to expect that and to deal with it. When you expect perfection from life, you tend to expect that from other people as well. And now when we do that, we're putting our expectations onto other people. That's not fair. Right? That kind of unrealistic thinking not only meets with a great deal of disappointment on our part when our expectations aren't met, but it puts unbearable pressure on the people that you care about. And eventually, that can destroy those relationships because of the extra pressure you put on them. Why not give people a break and stop demanding something from them that they have no ability to give you? The Apostle James said that we all stumble and we all fall in many things. So, if we all make mistakes, and we do, learn to accept that mistakes are a part of the human experience. And relax a little bit. Yes, God, I hear you. I need to relax a little more. We close with a question. In what specific ways do you need to be more accepting of the imperfect areas in your own life, or in the way someone else's imperfect areas affect you? And before you answer this, think about these words from 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4. Love is patient. Love is kind. I don't know about you, but I got some thinking to do today. So I hope you'll join me in that and pray for me. I pray for you. And I look forward to seeing you guys all on Sunday morning as we gather for worship, whether you be with us here on Sunday morning or whether we see you online. Love you, church. Have an incredible day. God bless you. Bye-bye.